In the Dolan Law Firm, we've handled cases involving hundreds of millions of dollars in transportation-related injuries. Uber and Lyft fall into a class of transportation called a common carrier. A common carrier has to provide the utmost degree of care for the people that are transported in those vehicles. I've had significant involvement in the development of the law in the area of TNCs. I handled the first wrongful death case against Uber. I helped draft the first of its kind legislation in the United States that required TNCs to carry insurance on their vehicles. Before that legislation, people had to rely only on the driver's insurance, which was often as little as $15,000. Since 2012, I've been a member of the California Public Utilities Commission's proceedings that relate to TNCs. There is liability coverage for when an Uber or Lyft harms someone else, and there's uninsured motorist coverage in case someone runs into an Uber and Lyft when a passenger is present and they have inadequate insurance to cover for the losses. There are 3 periods which are considered in the transportation network carrier cycle. Period number 1 is where the driver has the app on and is waiting for a ride request. Period 2 is when the driver is going to the requested ride but is yet to pick up the passenger. And period 3 is the period in which the passenger is in the vehicle traveling with the Uber driver. It starts from the moment the passenger enters the vehicle until they exit or the ride is closed out, whichever occurs later. The majority of Uber and Lyft drivers are responsible. However, we've seen a large number of collisions involving these vehicles based upon a number of factors: speeding, working too many hours, making U-turns, confusion with the app, running into bicyclists. Unfortunately, with a large number of TNC drivers, there's some bad apples. And we've seen some horrific cases where there have been sexual and physical assaults by Uber drivers against the passengers. We're very familiar with the rules and regulations, the way that their computer systems work, and what information needs to be gathered to prove those claims. If there's some form of a collision that you've been involved in with an Uber, go to Uber's Safety Toolkit. For Lyft, it's lyft.com/AROW. There you can report what occurred, you can upload photographs, and you can make a request for compensation. Most people don't get satisfaction through Uber, and that's why people come to us. We help people collect economic damages. Those include medical bills, lost wages, or other things for which you can get a receipt. And very importantly, we help people recover for their non-economic damages. Non-economic just means you can't get a receipt for them. It doesn't mean they don't have value. And that's pain, suffering, emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, disability, and other intangibles that truly affect people's lives. If you've been involved in a collision involving one of these vehicles, call somebody who knows what they're doing about it. We know more than most.